All right, welcome back to the Fantasy Football School. Today's class, we're going to talk about my top 15 quarterback prospect for the 2025 NFL Draft. Yup, you heard that right, 2025. All right, let's go. So, I'm pretty much finished all my scouting for the 2024 class and just beating a dead horse at this point. So, we're going to move on to 2025 here. Probably only seen like 2 games at most here and mostly live games, so these are just like my initial preliminary watch list prospect rankings. I do have a favorite, so without further ado, let's start with my number 15 prospect that you guys should be on the lookout for the upcoming college football season. And like I said, 2025 NFL draft is going to be in Green Bay, so in about a year, like I said. Moving on, first one is Noah Fafita from Arizona. So this dude had an amazing 2023 season. His coach just left for UW, and there was a chance that he might transfer with the coach, but ultimately he chose to stay. Him and along another breakout player is Tetaroa McMillan, or T-Mac for short. So they're still gonna be together. I don't know how much good of a quarterback prospect he'll be, because he's kind of undersized here at 5'11", 194. I don't even think he's 5'11", but that's the listed height, and normally these colleges kind of a little bit more than usually. But his BMI is pretty good. He's stocky. He kind of reminds me of like a poor man's Russell Wilson, where he just stands in the pocket, makes plays, and he's kind of hard to tackle. So keep an eye on him. He should have another great season, but we'll see, because his coach is left, so that might take a little hit. And next prospect, we got Dylan Gabriel. So he was supposed to go in this upcoming class, but the NIL, he had that COVID year that gave him another year of eligibility. So I guess Oregon's paying him a lot of money, gonna take over for Bo Nix. And he's essentially similar to Bo Nix, but like just a little smaller size. But I think he's gonna produce as well as Bo Nix. And he's shown that he can be. He was initially a Heisman candidate during this upcoming year, and unfortunately for him, what's his name, Jaden Daniels went off. So, anyways, he should be in that discussion again, although they're losing Bucky Irving and Troy Franklin, so I don't know how much this is gonna take a hit on the production. But like I said, he's almost the same height as Noah Fafita, and he's kind of old. He's probably gonna be 24 when the draft comes along next year, so I'm not expecting much of like elite top quarterback prospect here, but should be a decent backup. He's had a lot of starts under his belt, and that's really good, like indication that he'll be a decent backup in the NFL. But anyways, next one is more let's move on to a better NFL prospect. We got Riley Leonard, formerly of Duke Blue Devils. He had a great start of the season last year. Unfortunately, he got hurt, and then he just kind of hobbled him the rest of the season. And then now he's taking over Sam Hartman for the Fighting Irish. Should be a good prospect, better O-line than he's had. Hopefully he shows his skills, because he was a good prospect coming into the season. Unfortunately, like I said, he got hurt. Got good size, one of the better prospects in this class in my opinion. And moving on, another kind of good prospect was a third prospect in his class 4 years ago. Fortunately, he never mounted anything in Wisconsin. Transferred to Florida last year, had his best season. And then he's returning another year to possibly, because even if he came out this year, I don't think he was more than like a 5th or later prospect, day 3. So hopefully, he did lose Ricky Pearsall, so I don't know how that's gonna affect his production. But another year in the same system should give him a better chance of replicating that success he had last year. And then finally, one of my favorite prospect in this class, just in general, one of my more exciting players. He's still improving as a passer, but man, when he runs, he reminds me of Lamar Jackson, like in flashes. Daquan Finn, Formerly Toledo, now he went to Baylor. He should be the starting quarterback. Better offense, better players around him. He should excite a lot of people. If you've never heard of him, you are gonna hear about him this upcoming season. He might be a Heisman candidate early in the season, so we'll see. And finally, I need to stop saying finally. Anyways, one of the more intriguing prospect in this class. He is a true junior, and then he had that amazing bowl game last year in place of Caleb Williams. Miller Moss, I think he threw for like 6 touchdowns, which is pretty good. But I mean, Caleb does that occasionally, but for someone else to do it is kind of, intriguing. And the fact that their price signing in 2023, I forget his name, Malachi Nelson, he transferred out, I think, to BYU, which pretty much means that Miller Moss is the starting quarterback this upcoming season. They did try to get Will Howard, but ultimately he chose Ohio State. So Miller Moss should be the starting quarterback for the Trojans this year with a much better, I don't know about better, but like more experienced weapons and Zach Branch and Deuce Robinson. So hopefully he's gonna have a lot of eyes watching him because he is playing at USC. So there's a big chance he might be the QB1 this upcoming season if he does replicate Caleb Williams' stats. And moving on, next one we got Will Howard, who's supposedly supposed to commit to USC tried to get him, but he has good size, just pretty good prospect in terms of size, arm strength, and quarterback skills. He's a pocket passer, but he is a pretty good runner. Kind of reminds me of a poor man's Daniel Jones, I guess, but he is kind of old. He's gonna be a redshirt senior. He would have entered the NFL draft. He would have been a day 3 pick, but he does go to Ohio State with all the elite weapons that they have. They get Travion Henderson back, and then like 4 or 5-star wide receiver prospects. But anyways, he's also a favorite for the Heisman, so keep an eye on him. Next, we got Jalen Milroe from Alabama, who had a pretty up and down season last year. Because I don't think, was it last year when he I think it was last year, where initially he was the starter and he got benched, and then he got the starting job back and then just ran away with it. But man, it reminds me of a much better version of Malik Willis. He still needs to improve a lot as a passer, but he's in a much better trajectory as a passer than Willis ever was. But man, if he keeps on pace as how he did last year towards the end of the season, he is going to be an intriguing prospect for this upcoming class. He could have declared this year, but no, he's so raw that it was good that he came back, because Alabama is bringing a lot of weapons back, so hopefully that keeps him, in the upward trajectory. And then next we got DJ Uiagalelei. I swear, the only reason he's up here because his size, 6'4", 245. He was a elite high school prospect, and then whenever he took over for Trevor Lawrence his freshman year, he looked amazing. Unfortunately, that was the only time he looked amazing. Although the last couple of years at Oregon State, he has improved a lot compared to how he did in Clemson. Although it wasn't like a meteoric improvement, it was still an improvement. He improved year to year essentially from Clemson, and then 2 years to Oregon State. Then Florida, although he's losing a couple of pretty good wide receiving prospect, it is a better offense for him. Hopefully they can unlock his potential. But if he does get drafted, it's basically just for his tools. Great arm, great size, great prospect coming into college. But anyways, next we got Connor Weigman. Unfortunately, he got hurt last year. We didn't get to see him, but he is coming back. He was just a good prospect that he should bounce back, and it was supposed to be his breakout year. Unfortunately, like I said, he got hurt. So hopefully he shows up and prove us why he was such a highly touted prospect. And next we got Shedeur Sanders, who's getting a lot of hype. A lot of people had him as their QB1 entering this college season. Makes sense. He had an amazing first half of the season, and towards the end he kind of tailed off. I guess everybody got tape of him, or just, I don't know. Anyways, I personally don't think he's such a great prospect. He's kind of that, at best, a late first kind of prospect. He doesn't have elite tools. He got decent size, but that game manager plus kind of like a Teddy Bridgewater kind of prospect at best. But hey, if he has another great season, he could prove me wrong. I hope he does. But from what I've seen, because I saw like the first 5 games, he looked great in spurts, but towards the end of the season, you can see the limitation that he has as a quarterback. But anyways, moving on, we got Carson Beck, who had a pretty good first year starting, got great size. Unfortunately, they lost to the Alabama, and he couldn't get that team back like a three-peat. But it was a pretty good season. He is entering his senior year. If he produces again same way or a little bit better, he should be a good late first round prospect due to his size. He doesn't have that elite athleticism that would make him like a bona fide top 10 prospect, but he is good enough. But the next one, he does have elite traits. Drew Aller, he's one of the more consistently efficient quarterback this last season, if you only look at his box score. But if you actually watch him play, he was limited. They only asked him to do a little. They pretty much relied a lot on their two-headed running back rushing attack, which is fine because the 2 running back they have are pretty elite. But if anything, he kind of disappointed with the hype that he had coming into the season. He still produced well, honestly, if you look at his stats, but he doesn't scream that, oh, he's the number 1 quarterback in this class if you actually watch the tape. But if he produces similar but like more explosive plays, I think he could be the number 1 prospect. But unfortunately, he still has to prove that this upcoming season. He's my dark horse to be QB1, but I get it because he was the number 1 prospect in his freshman class. But next we got Quinn Ewers. Why is this like this? We got Quinn Ewers for UT. Fortunately, he got hurt last year. He was having a good season and then he got hurt, and then everyone was expecting him to declare, but good thing he didn't, because last year tape, although he had flashes, when he got hurt, he kind of, that buzz kind of died down a little bit, and he was very inconsistent in pretty much the whole season. Like, he had games where he looked like a number 1 overall prospect and then terrible. So I expect him to bounce back, although they did lose a couple of elite prospects in Mitchell, Worthy, and like Jatavian Sanders and Jonathan Brooks. They did get a couple good ones in the transfer portal, so it's gonna be a huge hill to climb losing all those players, but I think he can do it. He's also one top 3 quarterback in this class, only because of his elite arm strength. He has decent size, but man, he gotta improve from that last year, and he got Archie Manning breathing down his neck. If he doesn't improve this year and he doesn't declare, he will have to transfer out, because they can't keep Arch Manning sitting for like essentially 3 years. So it's a make or break here for Quinn Ewers. I think he's gonna succeed. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's the only problem. He hasn't been healthy throughout his college career. And finally, one of my favorite prospects in this class, who I think will be the number 1 quarterback in this class, is Jackson Dart. He looked good as a freshman when he took over for Keaton Slovis in 2021. Unfortunately, USC ended up getting Caleb Williams and Lincoln Riley, so he had to transfer out. He went to Ole Miss. His last 2 years, he's improved greatly, and last year had his best year. This year, he should take another step, and if he does, he will be the number 1 prospect. And essentially, those are my top 15 quarterback prospect this upcoming year, 2025. And unfortunately, nobody has separated themselves. This time last year, Caleb and Drake May was the consensus top 2 quarterback with what's his name, Caleb being the number 1 overall, and Drake May having a great sophomore season can supplant Caleb Williams if he has another great season. But like I said, anyone can win this class right now. No one's the favorite. Everyone has their favorite, but there's no consensus QB1 right now. So it's gonna be an interesting college season. in terms of like the 2025 NFL draft. So I'll see you on the next one. I'll probably do like a running back, wide receiver, and tight end prospect. So peace.